We'll take your phone calls live at 877-853-5247. Meeting ID is eSport Extra. That is 377-678-9872 at the pound button twice to join the show. We're live here on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. And yes, we got a gaggle today. This is tremendous. This is a starting five right here. Wouldn't beat a lot of teams. I wouldn't put any money on us to do beat anybody. Not even at the daggone wire. What do you guys think? Hey, Willie got bad knees. He can't play no more. OG, I know he can't play. And Derwin, well, I know he can't play. Kelly probably could still run. So at least got some speed on the perimeter.
I'm talking trash the whole time, really. That's all I'm doing.
That's all I'm doing. I'm just talking trash while we getting skull drugged by 100. So what's up, guys?
Chilling.
Well, where's the energy at? Get up!
I just woke
The
up.
hell is going on here?
I'm hungry.
Yeah, we are. We all are. Well, get in here, group hug, man. Come on, feet off. Get in here. Come on, get your arms out. Get in here.
Bring it
Come on.
in.
Hell yeah. All right. Y'all ready, man? I know we're gonna start on some tough news today, but you guys ready? Let's go ahead and get. Well, first of all, hey Willie, how you doing down there in Dallas, man? I apologize for this. How you doing, bro?
We're all right, man. Could have been worse. So blessed. We all right, man.
Okay. And of course, the queen of esports extra. How you doing, Kelly Wells Brinkley?
We are alive. I'm thankful. Lost my whole wardrobe. We're trying to recoup all my J's because I'm a J collector. And so that makes me sad. I cried over those. I did. I won't lie. But I'm here. I'm here and got some new hair. So I'm here.
Silly.
Gotta smile. You gotta smile.
She's like, hey, I would be crying too, but my J's, no. I had the Jubilees on this weekend in Atlanta. They tough. In
They're my favorite
anniversaries.
ones now.
Yeah, they tough, man. They look
they're my
good, boy.
favorite ones.
What's everybody's favorite
Columbia's
number?
the cool grades, but I'm an 11s guy anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I
Oh,
like the 11s. I like the 9s. Ones are always classics. I like them all. I like the 3s. I like the 4s,
13s.
5s. No, get out of here with that.
What?
I
They're like
I
the
actually got the concretes on now, on my feet.
I got on some ones, blue toes. You know what I'm saying? That's how we rock it. You know what I
So
mean?
we're gonna rub this in now. This
Yeah.
is
Oh,
happening.
I was. You know
This is
what?
happening.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I should not have done that. Yours, real quick. Put them up there, man. Come on.
Man, I
your
ain't
boy.
that athletic, man.
Hey, it did hurt. I had to kind of. You can see my leg don't go too far.
Hey, the best I can do is take them off.
Oh man, you guys are crazy, man. D-Dubs, what's up with you, man?
Excuse me. Ooh, hanging in there. Just had to take a little nap. So not so long ago woke up, but I'm good. Family's good. Less snow, so and it's not too bad outside. It's up near 40, so blessed.
Well, how's the son? I saw him. Saw his face on the Zoom a little while ago. Is he good?
Yeah, he's good. He's in there talking to his friends. I don't know, playing Roblox or whatever it is he's
Yo,
doing.
hide your money, dude.
No,
Do
he
not-
already know. Don't even come out here with that talking about
no,
he
no
need
Robux.
I knew no. Yeah, he be talking about that Robux. Every now and then he's like, I need some Robux. Not over here.
No, dog. You gotta tell him. You gotta tell him the Kendrick Perkins story. Like, you're not running up my credit card bill to $16,000. I'm good. I'm straight with that.
Yeah,
So.
not me.
I know
What?
Jordan can get it from Antonia Williams. I know good and well she can. She would. She just melts in your hand, dude. I already know.
I can't even say anything to the contrary.
See? That's what I'm saying. I already know.
Yep.
How she rolls. It's good to be back, guys. We're talking. Of course, we'll start with Tiger Woods. We'll get into some of that. We'll get into the team trash talking Cam Newton. I thought it was a funny story the last day or two. The twists and turns there. I thought Cam handled it pretty well. Not a big fan of saying I'm rich. I mean, we get it, But hey, I like how he did come back in the second half of the video. We'll get into that. Carson Wentz, we're going to talk about that. Not going to be able to wear number 11 with the Indianapolis Colts, and there's a reason for that. And I love the reason why he won't get to wear it. Russell Wilson, really, Derwin? Really?
That's his noise. Nobody listening to him. My GM ain't listening to him. So he can talk.
Schneider's like, I'm good.
Yeah, he's got 4 years on his contract. He ain't going nowhere. He talking.
You don't seem bothered by this, Derwin, at all.
Not at all. He's not going anywhere.
Okay.
He's just talking.
Because
This
if he leaves, you guys are going back to the
he's
Seattle
not.
days. Like,
Listen to me.
yeah.
He's not going anywhere. Who
Okay.
cares? Let him
All
talk.
right. Okay, dude. Why are you getting so angry?
I'm not angry.
I know.
Well, I'm a little annoyed that he's
You
talking
are. You're
because,
perturbed.
yeah, because I mean, where have we
Perturbed.
seen this guy? His guy doesn't talk. He threw his organization under the bus and his offensive line. He's never done that. So I think he's feeling himself a little bit with this
He
Walter
is.
Payton Award or Walter Payton Award.
It's like
But
Brady. You get the supermodel wife. Things change a little bit. You know what I'm
but see,
saying?
Brady was taking a pay cut all these years. Russell
He
has not.
was. He was. But he got pissed when he didn't get the parking spot one year when I
Yeah,
was in
well,
Boston. So
yeah.
there was some little, little clouds came out a little bit. You could see it. And Russell, you're right. I think that's a good little comparison. He reminds me a little bit of Brady, where you can see like, okay, it ain't.
Brady was winning though.
He was,
I
but
was
he
about to
wasn't
say,
happy. But he wasn't happy. You could see the relationship with Belichick is like, all right, it's frayed. Like there's
He
an
still was
expiration.
winning
Yes.
unhappy.
Well, winning will do that. But you saw him; he was miserable in that Facebook series too. So,
Mhm.
OG. So we'll get into that. But you're good though. You're still in Dayton, right?
yeah, and unfortunately,
When you
I'm
coming
not
back?
coming to New York this week because we missed the protocols of me coming in from out of state. So I have to wait till next week.
Got quarantine? Was it 10 days or was it?
It's like you got to quarantine at least like 3 days or something like that.
Okay.
So
Well, do your
I'm
thing,
cool.
man. Yeah, that's all good, man. You'll be here, man. It's all good. We'll get into some of that. I think on Thursday we're going to talk about the 2K draft as well. So, all right, guys, let's get started. Big news, of course, today. Tiger Woods. We had to add that story. Very, very, very uh, not tragic, but very difficult to see. Really worried about Tiger. That one car, single car crash, rollover around 7:12 a.m. Pacific time, so around 10:12 a.m. this morning here on the East Coast. 9:12 down there in Dalworth and H Town. The single car crash. He's got multiple surgeries coming up. He's got multiple fractures in his legs. They have to extricate him with the jaws of life. I heard they were using an axe on the front windshield to get him out. Um, I think he did a photo shoot, if I'm not mistaken, some sort of training shoot. I know with Dwayne Wade yesterday. I think he was heading
Hmm.
back to another shoot. Don't know if it was the same one, but at least a shoot today. So the sports world, I think the whole entire world right now, pausing and just praying for Tiger Woods. Looks like he's going to be okay. Critical, stable condition that we're seeing out there as well. Looks like he's going to make it through, but definitely a setback for Tiger Woods with the injuries to his legs. Your thoughts on this, guys? When you heard the news, it's been all over CNN, all over the major news, Sports Center. We saw the sheriff department out there talking about it as well. A very tough day to be a fan of Tiger Woods. We'll start with you first, ladies first. Kelly Wells.
It's sad. You never want to see anyone get hurt, and especially someone that's in the public eye, because what kills me is like, they don't have privacy, like this is, all over the place. So in days of him healing, he's going to have to relive a traumatic experience of, seeing his car, seeing it all over again. So my heart goes out to him, his family. I wish him a speedy recovery because he's been through a lot. And it's just sad. It's definitely sad. You never want to see someone go through something like this. I lost my mom to a car accident. So like watching, car accidents are just super triggering, and you never know how they're going to come out. So at least I'm glad that he was conscious when they removed him from the car, and he can recover.
Yeah. Hey Willie, when you're being, extricated, jaws of life, that got my attention, man. I perked up, I set up, man. We're all prayers up for Eldrick Tiger Woods.
Yeah, and again, we've had this discussion before, especially with these sports coming back in this COVID time, in terms of, the expectation or the belief that these athletes are superhuman when they take the field or take, the links or hit the links or whatever the case may be. And so with that thought process, sometimes when we hear these things happening to them, we think, oh, they'll just bounce back. That automatically pops in your mind, especially if they have come back from some trials and tribulations before. One of my favorite hip hop artists of all time, Tupac, right? The second time I heard, about what was going on, the first thing I thought was, okay, he came through once,
Hmm.
hopefully he'll come through again. And you sort of start thinking that. So it's really a pause because it makes you think again. These athletes are human, and people have to understand that. And so, certainly hoping that the best for Tiger, his family. I think about his kids. The other thing I think as well is he's going through having some lower extremity issues now while recuperating from a back surgery. So I think
Back, he's
about
had
that
knee surgeries.
also.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So with those said all those things again, my thoughts and prayers go out to his family and him, and hoping that Tiger makes a speedy recovery for sure.
Oh, gee, he was safely removed. He is conscious, like Kelly Wells said. So looks like there's some light at the end of the tunnel. But we did see the golf world as well speak out today. We saw Justin Thomas talk about prayers up to T Dubs, and he's going to pull through. We saw Jack Nicklaus as well. So yeah, your thoughts here, seeing the news today with Tiger Woods.
I mean, initially it was painful because, like many other athletes, it's like I've watched them like grow up. I mean, I felt like I grew up with them. So, uh, figures icons like that they tend to hit different, whether you know them personally or not, and just the act of. I mean, I car wrecks are something that I'm terrified of. Like I that's like one of my worst fears. And think when I do think about anything happening to me personally, that's why I don't get out in the snow. Like if any inclement weather, I do not go outside and drive or anything. And all my friends laugh and joke and clown about it. But I'm serious. Like I don't get on the road or anything. But to hear that he was okay, uh, definitely. I thought about his kids and everybody that his family and things like that. But definitely not the news you want to hear. What a lot of the news that we've been embodying over the last year, especially in dealing with the pandemic and everything else. So just glad to hear that he's doing that he will have a possibility of getting back to somewhat normal health for him. But and like A Willie said, I had already dealing with a surgery and everything like that. You just want to put your arms around them, man, and wish them a healthy and speedy recovery.
Uh, you know, Dagwood, I thought about his kids too. I thought about Charlie. I thought about his daughter and things of that nature. I also thought about 2009. Thanksgiving around that time. The fire hydrant. Out there in Orlando. I thought about 2020. All the athletes that we lost, all the celebrities that there was a lot of damn things racing through my head. D Dubs.
Yeah, definitely. The first thing I think about was 2020 and all the people we lost. And now you see Tiger's name go across the scroll, or
Mm-hmm.
you see it pop up in your phone notification. You're like, no, not Tiger. This is the first reaction I had when I saw it. And we just hope and we pray that we don't lose another one. But he seems to be well. Anytime a situation like this happens, I always think about the kids. I can't imagine um, having to tell a child that they're not going to see their father again. That's one thing that always hits me. Any child that loses a parent. So hopefully, when you hear jaws of life and things of that nature, it's serious. I saw a picture of the car. I'm like, how the hell? You know, all we can do is just pray for him. And they say prayer works. So just pray for him that he comes out of it. Um, and he's okay. He's going to probably have a long recovery coming back. His back surgery, back in nothing to fool with, and now all these extra injuries as well. Um, just hope that he'll be able to have some kind of normal life after this, and be able to walk again.
Yeah, they're saying multiple fractures to his lower extremities, to his legs. So prayers up for Tiger Woods. We'll see if he can recover. But yeah, he's got a long recovery road ahead of him. You're absolutely right about that. You look at the shoulder, you look at the knees, the back. He's been beat up basically since 2010 or 11 for the
Yeah.
most part. It's been a long haul for Tiger Woods the last 8 to 10 years coming back from all of these ailments. So we'll definitely keep an eye on this story. Hopefully, we'll get some good news and maybe we can update this. We're not on tomorrow, but definitely we'll update it and talk about it Thursday. Hopefully, he'll be released from the hospital, and Charlie and and his sister will have their dad back in the home. So we'll keep it moving. We'll go to the NFL now. Dagwood, your favorite,
Hmm.
Cam Newton. What did you think of Cam Newton? First of all, the kid talking crap and trash talking Cam Newton at his camp. And Cam Newton, some of the things that he said back and forth, we talked about. He's like, I'm rich. I wasn't a fan of that. But I
Yeah.
also wasn't a real fan of Where's Your Dad? Because I'm like, okay, we don't want to do that to our own people. But I did like the fact that, Cam didn't sit there and just take it from this kid. And the
Yeah.
kid did apologize. So we did see some of that as well. Have you seen all of the angles of the video and your thoughts on it? We'll start with you. Go ahead first, D Duck.
When I first glanced at it, I kind of turned away from it. 'Cause like, come on, because my first reaction is, are you really out here arguing with this little kid?
Oh, here we go.
And then I started reading a lot of the comments, and I started to see everyone's different takes on it, and it seemed like a lot of people was getting on the kid, and I could think it kind of goes both ways to me because I've always felt like this society with these children. I honestly feel like a lot of parents have I think we have failed our children. Not some of these parents I just feel like shouldn't be parents, and kids have no respect. I
A lot
saw
of
one.
single family parents, a lot of
It
single
doesn't
moms raising their
matter.
kids
I
too.
don't care. You still have a parent. You can still teach your child something about respect. I am old school. I'm a firm believer in your child is a representation of you. My child can't go out here in these streets and act a fool and not behave himself in the store because that's a reflection on me. And I
Yeah,
think that
that's true.
if more parents felt that way, they will do more to, discipline their children. You can't have these kids running around here wearing your last name, acting a fool. One person said, you have an opportunity to learn from a MVP, a guy that's been to the mountaintop, some places you're probably trying to go, and how dare you be disrespectful to him? You know,
You're
I
a
just
free agent. You're a free agent. It's like,
I mean, come on, show some respect. Um, I remember true story, and you true story. I was at NABJ one time, and NABJ, National Association of Black Journalists, and somebody that I know, a young sportscaster, was having an argument in the ballroom with an OG, and
mm,
I'm looking at him like, "Are you crazy? Oh, really? We're at a convention with pioneers that have paved the way, and I don't care what it is. You got to show respect." Um, and then with Cam, yeah, I think Cam could have handled a little bit better. But it's just not a good look. I think on
mm,
both sides.
yep.
Um, that's just my take on it. But honestly, I feel like us as parents, we could do better with teaching. I just see far too much disrespect running around this
Sure.
country with
But
children.
it does take a village to raise a child. I'm glad you brought up the parents and the children. We'll start with Kelly Wells. She's got a child, and she's the motherly figure here on Esports Extra. Your thoughts with Cam saying, "Where's your father at?" And immediately I started thinking, "Oh boy, this is a different generation. A lot of these kids are growing up with single moms. I'm just sorry. I'm gonna be frank and blunt. A lot of soft kids out there as well. They don't know how to handle things. So Durbin's correct on that part of it. Want to get your thoughts on the single families, the single moms, different generation, instant coffee generation. You know what I'm saying? Your thoughts on that, Kills?
Well, I was raised by a single mother, and yes, it was a different generation. But if I would have opened my lip with a half of a disrespect, I would have been dragged to next week before I even got out a full sentence. Like it would have never happened. And I think,
I would
okay,
got
I'm
a nice
like,
little two piece. Boom, boom.
what? Like
Yeah.
dead.
Boom, boom.
And I'm like, all right, that kid's in high school. So the mom, like, and I'm like, well, let me not, try to guess her age because, stuff does happen and you don't know when people have children. But, your children are a direct reflection of you. And,
Mm,
like, we are the stewards of our own children. But then I also think that that was a teachable moment for the coach as well, like watching those videos and watching the coach justify, the kid, or like he didn't like immediately get that kid out of there. Like I've coached, and if that would have been one of my athletes, that child would have been out of their home. You're in the van, wherever you are, because this is a privilege.
right.
Like, do you know, like, if you have a single parent, even if you have two parents, and do you know how much it costs to do these things? And like, either if it's a free camp that Cam put on, he still is putting his money or his sponsor's money behind stuff. Like, people don't look at stuff like a privilege. These kids these days, it's an expectation that this is supposed to happen for me, and I'm just automatically going to get to the league. So
You
it
owe
really,
me.
really, yes, like it bothered me to watch, this child mouth off to an adult like that. It definitely bothered me to see Cam, say, "Where's your father?" and all that stuff. It's triggering and it's not
Mhm.
cool. But then that's also another word that we're throwing around, triggering, toxic, all of these newfangled words that people try to, put merit into that all of the time it's not those things. Like, so, that child, whew, if I was a coach, I would have been mortified. Like, you know what? The whole team goes home because of him,
Mhm.
because you have to make an example out of him,
Right.
because
And
he's
all y'all
going
got to
to do the,
run because of him.
yeah,
Hmm.
because of him. So check
It's
your
that peer
boy,
pressure.
because this
Exactly.
is going to be a cyclical thing. And I bet you this isn't the first time that the coach has seen this. And then, like, when I read the child's apology letter,
Mhm.
it infuriated me even more because of the grammatical errors behind it. Of, first of all, why is this child even on someone's field when he can bear, like, it's a third grader that wrote this letter? So we, like, that's a whole other issue of, like,
Yeah.
well, this is entitlement, and we're not doing what we have to do in the classroom. So you're on the double
Well, it
negative
was
for
a
me.
non-apology apology too.
I couldn't, I was trying to piece it together. No
Right.
shit, no, all shade actually. I was trying to piece it together and make sense of what it said. So, very disheartening, very disappointing, especially, when you see a young man. We always want to pull for our own. We always want to
Mhm.
pull for these young kids trying to get out of places and,
Sure.
do well for themselves. But like no one owes you anything in this world. No
Right.
one.
Hey Willie, when you look at it, I'm thinking, all right, young kid, joke landed badly, did not land at all. That's kind of how I took it. But he's got to learn how to walk that back. That was the problem. He tried to come at Cam and be fun, and it's like nobody laughed, dog. Take your medicine and drop it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know if he knew how to get out of that situation. What's your read on that?
Yeah, I think that's true. But I also, in addition to that, I also think too, when Kelly said this, and this is one of the things I want to talk about in terms of that apology. One of the things that he said in the apology is my competitive nature got the best of me. And again, that knowing where you are and who you are and what stage you're at,
Mhm.
you're a high school player talking to a former MVP. There's no competition between you
Heisman
two,
winner,
None.
right?
absolutely.
What
So
was I
so
talking
the
about?
fact that you're saying my competitive nature is if this is Patrick Mahomes against Cam Newton
Right,
or Ndamukong Suh against Cam Newton was
right.
again shows again that fact that from a I guess from a reality standpoint, you're not conscious of where you really are. And part of that too is, as you all were saying as well, there is an authority issue there for sure. But also too, with that being said, I also think too, and we see this a lot. This is also a societal issue when you start looking at the things that parents are subjected to in terms of trying to discipline their kid, or a teacher disciplining a kid out of school, or a coach disciplining a kid. And I'm not talking about people that cross the line with respect to that discipline. I'm talking about providing that level of accountability that's needed to give you those lessons when you play sports. Corporate America loves sports because of the fact that we can persevere, we can multitask, we can take direct coaching.
A
Well,
microcosm of life.
right. But we're removing that taking direct coaching
Mhm.
element out of it because sometimes we don't allow coaches to coach.
They call it
And
bullying now.
right,
Mm.
right. And especially, and I say that again too, especially in our community as well, when I look at in my world in basketball, when I look at what the black coach is expected to be if they're a head coach in college. Is an expectation that they're a relationship person,
Right.
and there at that level of accountability and being able to hold players accountable. Oftentimes when players are coming from households that look like us and we send them to play for coaches that look like us, we sometimes don't allow those coaches to hold players accountable. You can't talk to my baby like that. But watch what Tom Izzo does. But watch what Rick Pitino does.
Hmm.
But watch what Greg Marshall does.
Right.
Right. And so I say that because again, you see this stuff going on. And yes, I agree with you all. I was thinking that, and maybe I'm being a little um too idealistic, but when I was looking at Cam saying, "Where's your father?" I was thinking of it, okay, a man is going to have a conversation with a man.
Another
That's what
man.
I was thinking,
That was my
Yeah,
first
right?
thought. Then I
I
was
That
thought
was
like,
my
about that
first
too.
thought, right?
that,
Yeah.
That was my
but
first
then
thought when I
he
saw it.
kept going. I'm like, okay,
Right,
he's
right.
Sam. You ain't got no daddy.
Right. That's what I was hoping for, a man having a
Yeah.
conversation with a man.
Hmm.
So
It's like if two girls get in a fight. It's like, I'm not talking to you, girl. Where your man at? Go get your
Right.
man.
Yeah.
yeah, let the man, because it's, and so same deal. Like if you're with a lady and a lady says something crazy to me, I'm not gonna,
No.
Right.
bite back at her. Like, let
Same,
my lady handle that.
same thing
um,
happened with Marshawn. I don't know if you saw that video with Marshawn
Yeah,
a
and
year
that
ago
woman, yeah,
with the
and
woman,
right,
mhm.
and he
right.
kept saying, "Yo, is there a
Where's your
man here?
husband
Is
or
a man
where's
here
his?
with you?"
Yes,
Yeah.
Right, right. So that's what I was hoping for. That's what I was thinking. But as I said, I think it's very dangerous, especially for us. Big picture here is very dangerous for, just like we live in a world from a sports perspective, that there's an expectation that you get a reward for showing up. Right, you get a reward for just existing. We have participation awards. We have these leagues where all the kids get the same amount of playing time. That is very dangerous for any kid, but that's really dangerous for us because, as we all know, we have to work twice as hard to get half the credit. We don't get rewarded for just showing up. So when we put our kids in those situations where they get rewarded for just showing up, there's some expectation that you are equal to a Heisman Trophy, national champion, NFL MVP, Super Bowl starter quarterback, and you guys are in the same stratosphere just because you went to a camp that he started. I think that's very dangerous for us because, as we know, the parameters and the guidelines that we live under in this world are completely different for us than they are for other people.
Absolutely. OG, your thoughts on this? Seeing the back and forth with the kid, a little disrespectful, not a lot disrespectful. Cam's, sort of a retort and response.
Yeah, I mean, funny that the more I heard from y'all, I thought about a lot of different things that I didn't think about initially. But just from the beginning, I would like to see how it transpired because obviously, when we see these videos, we never see the
Hmm.
actual beginning.
Hmm.
Like we catch like the heat of the moment back and forth. I like to see how that even started. I mean, for me, yeah, I do believe the kid was in the wrong, and Cam could have countered better.
Cam's on the
Um,
sideline. He's walking by, and the kid's chirping at him. So
yeah,
clearly,
and
the kid started.
the part about that though is like where's the appreciation? Because I know anytime a star athlete or entertainer or anybody held anything when I was coming up as a kid and we got an opportunity to go, it was like you was grateful for the opportunity to be able to actually feel connected and be close to them, and you chose to do that instead of ask him to help you perfect your craft and the reason why you're there. And this is one of the things about when athletes do try to give back. Some have free clinics and camps, and then some I've known have charged in the past, and they get a lot of kickback. But guess what? If you got to pay $200-300 to go to a camp, your ass ain't gonna act up at the camp. Like you're gonna go
Mhm.
and do what you're supposed to do. And so a lot of times I think the players take stuff for granted,
Hmm.
and they do whatever. I mean, I've seen it live and in color, working a lot of different events and camps and stuff like that. But I just thought it was sad. But then I seen the video of where they actually had another conversation after
Yeah,
the
we're
fact.
showing it right now. We
Yeah,
were
and
showing it. Yeah, the
and
second one.
yeah, and I think Cam really tried to. He was really trying to fill him out and reach to the young man
Well, he
and
was
see.
asking like, "What'd you do today?" Because he
Yeah,
already knew
like
the answer, which is not a
Which
damn
is
thing.
nothing. And talking about look at my YouTube. Boy,
Look at
don't
my
nobody care
YouTube.
about that.
man,
That's a highlight
and
tape.
yeah, his whole rebuttal was like, you can tell like he needs some attention. And
Mhm.
then the other part of what A Willie was saying as far as the coaching, let's not get it twisted that not all Caucasian coaches know how to coach, young black males. Like I think if any coach that I was coached under, anybody would start acting like that at a camp, they'd have got that video never would have made it. Like
Drug.
because they would have cut that off. I think the coach looked more surprised, like that he didn't even think to discipline him or pull him to the side or nothing.
Right.
And I hope that when the cameras went off, that they really had a civil conversation,
Hmm.
and he really learned something, and hopefully take away from it, because we know what type of road this leads down for a lot of males, especially black males, who continue
In
to have
life.
that type of behavior and
Sure.
disrespect as they continue to grow.
All right, we'll take your phone calls live 877-853-5247. Meeting ID Esports Extra. That is 377-678-9872. Hit the pound button twice to join the show. We're going to keep talking NFL, talk about another prominent black NFL quarterback. He plays out there in Rain City, Pacific Northwest. We'll start with Dagwood. Derwin, what the hell is going on with your Seahawks? Are they feuding calls about Russell Wilson? I've heard that a third of the league. What's it gonna take? Well, it's got to start with at least 3 first rounders. Right?
I would call.
I mean,
Yeah.
hey,
But your boy Snyder said I always take calls, so he's listening.
Oh,
because
yeah.
that's what smart GMs do.
he's one of the best GMs in the league,
I
first and
think so.
foremost.
I think so.
And I mean, I'm not mad at any team that's going to call. You have to call. You
Mhm.
have to do your due diligence. I remember how we wound up with Jimmy Graham. Snyder was calling his people down in New Orleans and wasn't even calling about Jimmy, and Jimmy name came up. You just never know when you put in that phone call. So I'm not mad at teams for calling. I'm more annoyed with Russell because this is not who he is. For like 9 to
Oh, it is
10
now.
well,
It is
for
now.
9 to 10 years, we always hear "Go Hawks" is always about the team, and now you get this Walter Payton award, Man of the Year award. You didn't get the MVP, you get this award, and now you want to understand he's supposed to do the media calls and go around the league and talk about the award and what it means, but you now talking about the organization and your
Nobody talked
offensive
about
line.
that damn award, and all the interviews he did, I didn't hear and read any damn thing about the Man of the Year.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what you should be talking about. But instead, you're talking about the organization and you're talking about your offensive line. Not a good look.
Is
It's
he
not a
lying?
good look.
Is he lying?
He's part of the problem.
Oh, really?
He can't hold the ball.
Dagwood.
There's a listen.
Derwin.
There,
Look, I know it's
let
your
me
team, and I'm not going to tell you
listen.
about your team, but stop.
Listen. No, you're not. And listen.
Oh, damn.
You're not. You're really
Okay.
not. I got
Okay.
I got 37 years invested. So you're not.
That's
Listen.
your problem.
Yeah, listen.
That's a you problem.
There's a reason why Pete Carroll wants to run first offense. Russell is very good. Don't get it twisted. But you got to reel him in sometimes. You can't let him do too much. He's not Aaron Rodgers.
So he
He's
can't
not.
throw the ball 40 times and pick you apart?
Not 40 times. You do not want him pitching that ball around 40 times a game.
So he's not as good as Tom Brady. That's what you're saying, basically, right?
I trust Tom Brady to do that. I don't trust Russell to do that.
Okay, that's
I'm
fair.
being honest. I don't, because what we have seen even this year.
Who would you rather have right now, coach, quarterback in the Seahawks right now, today?
That's not what it's talking. That's not what we're talking about.
I just asked the question. It requires a simple answer. That's all.
You asked. You told
Yeah,
Brady.
your name is Dagwood. You don't.
Oh, right now, if I could have him I wouldn't mind Tom Brady over Russell.
Oh, stop, dude.
Listen.
Stop.
Did we not just see Tom Brady go down?
Yeah, that's what a better team. Right now, with that offensive line, that team you got.
DK Metcalf, and I got Tyler Lockett. Why can't Brady get the ball to those guys and let them make plays?
I didn't say he couldn't. I just said who would you rather have today?
He doesn't. Brady doesn't hold the ball.
Who would you rather have today? We'll try this for the 4th time. Who would you rather have today?
I just said Tom Brady. I'll take Tom Brady.
I'm surprised by that.
To win a championship with a subpar defense to win it. He's the GOAT. Is he not the GOAT?
You taking Tom Brady over Russell Wilson today?
Am I? Yeah, I'd have took him any day.
Who? Tom Brady?
I'd have took Tom Brady any day over Russell.
Hey Willie, you got Tom Brady or Russell Wilson today, February 23rd, 2021.
What team are you giving me?
I don't give a damn.
I'd have took Eli over Russell.
Oh, God.
That's another conversation.
Dude, his mic. Hey, OG, you go ahead and eat, dog. Go. Get out. Get out right now. Go. Hey, Willie, who you got?
Right now, today?
Damn it,
That's what he said.
Tough one, man.
2021.
Man.
Hey, it's that tough. Hey,
Right.
Come
It
on.
is, man. It is, because I like Russell Wilson, but I'll take Tom Brady.
Y'all wildin'.
Okay, let's go, Kelly. Who you taking?
Y'all wildin'.
I'm gonna go with TB12. Like,
It's unanimous. You have Larry. You have lost. You have lost again. It's unanimous.
Coach K, get in here.
Let's make.
Today.
Hey, y'all being funny. Y'all being funny about my Eli take, but when Eli had a running game and a good defense, he won too.
You gotta stop it. Stop it. We're not
Really, guys?
I
we're not
like
gonna do
Eli.
this.
Come
Yeah, I like Eli too. He's
on.
goofy, but I don't want him as my starting quarterback over Russell Wilson. Get out of here, Coach K.
Yeah, Russ. He's
It's,
like
it's
the to me,
simple.
he's like the second best quarterback in the league right now.
He's top 3 or 4 for sure.
Yes.
There's no
Absolutely.
question.
So
There's no
who's the
doubt.
first?
And I love Tom Brady, but we're talking today. I didn't say
For
3 years
me,
ago or
oh, the
life
Mahomes.
accomplishments.
Mahomes is the best right now.
No, yeah.
So then, who are you taking? TB12
No,
He just said it. He said
or
Russell.
Russie?
I said
No.
today, Russell.
Oh, okay.
you guys don't remember the beginning of the year, huh?
Hey, I don't.
Oh, come on, man. I do.
That's the
But
beginning of the year. How did he finish?
the question isn't like
His
who we
defense
taking.
is trash to begin with.
Derwin,
But the question isn't who we're taking for the foreseeable future,
You see,
right?
Tampa's
Like
got a
it's talking about
defense, they got good
today.
secondary, got
You
fast
said
line.
right now.
And so,
Yeah,
Larry,
right now.
Larry, you see
Derwin
what
would
you're saying,
take-
Larry? You see
Yeah.
what you're saying, Larry? That's exactly why I asked you which team are we talking about? Because you're talking about teams now. That's why I asked you that.
With Seattle.
Larry's trying to move the goalposts. Don't
I
let him
know.
do that.
Yeah,
Today
but
with
that's why I
Seattle.
asked you
Today with
what
Seattle.
team are we talking
Today
about?
with Seattle. Who you got?
If they're in Seattle,
God damn it.
I couldn't hear what you said, man.
Today in Seattle.
I'm taking Russell Wilson in Seattle.
Okay, now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just couldn't hear you, bro. That's all.
Okay.
Derwin would
Get in
take
here.
Taysom
Get in here. Give
Hill
me a hug. Get in
over
here.
Russell Wilson.
Oh, stop it.
Y'all wildin', man. Y'all prisoners of the moment. But no,
Hey, that fist about to jump off A. Willie's chest.
That's how I
Hey, hold up. LL talking greasy. LL talking greasy
I
to
don't
us,
want
right?
no smoke.
Like, hold up, LL.
Fine. Knock his dreads off.
Lennox Lewis jab.
I'm just joking, man. I'm joking
I know,
with y'all.
no,
I'm just kidding.
I know. That's we're having some fun. No, Joe bring up some good points. I just got to bust his balls because we're talking about the Seahawks. But get in here. But Russell, though, y'all think he's feeling himself though a little too much right now with these stories last couple of weeks?
So hold on. So Derwin, you don't think nothing's gonna come of this? You think he gonna just stay there and everything gonna be cool?
He's got 4 years on his contract at big time money. He's not going anywhere.
Okay,
Derwin
that's
is
the only
absolutely
that's the
about that.
only reason though.
Yeah, no, yeah. Well, it's a quarterback league. Quarterbacks don't live on trees. I mean, you still need a competent. He's a competent quarterback. You know, if you
What?
don't want to.
He's more than competent. I mean,
He's a very good. Listen, he's a very. My whole
is he a
point
Pro
is-
Bowl quarterback? I mean,
my whole point is, you take the quarterback off the team, you're at the bottom. Look at Dallas
No,
without a
that's
quarterback.
Yeah.
Look at Dallas. Now, do I think Dak is worth 35 to 40? Absolutely not. But Dallas has got to come up with. They're gonna have to figure out.
market value, dude. Right now.
You
That's
know,
what I'm saying.
They got to figure out. He's going to
Franchise
get.
him again?
And for the record, he's got to get franchised again.
Ooh.
I don't see a deal
It's gonna be
with
37.
Dallas.
It's gonna be like 37
Man.
this time.
Yeah, I don't.
You gonna
Well,
do-
they got
you
one
gonna
more
do
year to
Le'Veon
do
Bell.
it before it becomes crazy.
You gonna do
Mhm.
Le'Veon Bell?
And I know PR wise, it's not going to be a good look with the fan base.
Real
But
quickly, everybody jump in there. All right, real quickly, Russell feeling himself a little too much, or you guys like this about Russ? Kelly?
Like it. I don't think any athlete can feel themselves too much. I'm sorry. Because if I don't feel myself all the way, then who will?
So
this
Barry
is-
Horowitz, right?
Yeah,
Hey,
there you
look,
go.
that's it. That's it. You get one career.
you can do these things
Uh-oh.
behind closed doors. You
We
don't
lost-
air out your dirty
Oh.
laundry in public. Seattle's been normally good for that. Normally, when things are going on with them, you don't hear about it. It stays in house. This was something that he brought out. It was
Well-
no need to bring it out.
Well, one of the things that you said, D, is true. They normally do keep things in house. But as all of this has started coming out, one of the things that I actually started thinking about was how much stuff was going on behind closed doors for him to come to make this public now, right? Like for him to, because I would look at Russ, and maybe I'm giving Russ the benefit. I am giving Russ the benefit of the doubt because he's exactly what you said, very, very measured in what he says and how he says it, and all of those things. So the fact that I don't think Russ just willy-nilly, just without any thought, just said, you know what, I'm going to start voicing this stuff in public. So what it made me think is, as all this stuff has started to come about, was how much stuff is going on behind the scenes that Russell stomached and didn't say anything about, right? Because he just does not strike me as a guy that willy-nilly just says something and he's just very reactionary and would just say something off the cuff, and it's not measured, it's not thought out because he's a company guy. He's always been a company guy. So what I started thinking again is what's going on behind the scenes, and how many times has, for lack of a better term, he's felt muzzled to actually say something like this.
Well, now he feel like, you know what, I've earned the right. You know what I'm saying? Especially with
Yeah.
the play, MVP caliber the last couple of years. OG, let me get your thoughts here. Do you think
I
he's
think
looking around? Do you think he's looking around that locker room like, I can't fucking win here? I can't.
I mean, I think that's what it is. But then it also, like what A. Willie said, that's what I really roll with is that he's probably been going through a lot more than what anybody knows. Because most of the time, when somebody that we perceive to be quiet, when they finally get loud, it's for a reason. Like it ain't just like
They've
it's
been
not
pushed to
just
the edge.
cause. So I think definitely if they don't get over the hump with the next season, I mean, shit, ain't no telling what we gonna see because yeah, I mean he's I mean, I was saying or I was being funny about the Eli thing or whatever, but I mean he's been on top of his game. Seattle's consistently been a contender, and for them not to get to the point where they're not getting back to the Super Bowl and different things like that, I mean, it's gonna get frustrating because I mean, how it doesn't pay dividends for any sports franchise to just be competitive and they're not getting over the hump. And then especially at the QB position for him feeling the way that he's feeling about the people that surrounding him, that's gonna be an issue that they're gonna have to hopefully fix itself somehow. I just think that sometimes you never know how the public outlash of what you're saying, how it's going to really affect the locker room. And I know a lot of stuff get hyped up and different things like that, but you got to have them big hog mollies. They got to be on your side.
All right, Dave
you
Gettleman. Hog mollies. Hell, you know about hog mollies.
Hey, man.
I hear you. I hear you. Real quickly, Derwin, seriously though, do you think he really wants out? Like, what's really going on there? What's really in his heart?
Sierra want to get out of Seattle.
You know where she wants to be? She wants to be right here in New York City.
I think that he's a little
Level up.
frustrated.
Level up.
I think he's a little frustrated because he would love to be like a Aaron Rodgers and a Tom Brady, where he just runs the office and he's throwing the ball all the time. And you know, you said something about he's earned the right, or he looks around the locker room and says he can't win here. Let me be clear. When they won the
Read my lips.
when they won the Super
It
Bowl,
wasn't because of him. You're right.
it wasn't because of him. It was because of Marshawn, and it was because of that defense. LOB. And how many times did that offense go out there and stink up the joint, and that defense bailed them out time and time? So he has no right.
That was 2013, 2014.
But it's
You
always.
went Rafael Palmeiro.
But
Let
it's
me be
always-
clear.
But it's
And he forgot to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
listen. But it's always been about the defense. So Pete Carroll, and I said this a couple of years ago, and people thought I was crazy. The year that they missed the playoffs, what did Pete Carroll do? He fired everybody. And I said, Pete Carroll's seen enough of Wilson. We know who he is. And he wanted to go back to the formula of running the football more, being run first. And what happened? They were the number one rushing team in the league. When their running backs are healthy, they're a good running team.
They're pretty good.
They're pretty good. And Carroll wants to do that. He never wants to be
That's
a pass.
I agree.
That's his identity. He doesn't want to be a pass first. And I think Russell, at this stage of his career, he's at the Super Bowl. He's watching Tom Brady and Tom Brady not getting touched and doing all.
And he's like, how the hell?
And I think he's envious. I think he's envious. He's seeing some of the great quarterbacks, and he wants to be like them. He wants to be able to do the things that they do. The Aaron Rodgers is allowed to throw 40 times a game. There was a time that Russell was only throwing 19 to 24.
As great as Tom Brady was, Belichick in an offense, they ran things, and he had to play his part. Now he was great in that offense, but hell, they have to, they have to put the wraps on him too. They have to put the clamps on him. So it is what it is. There have been times when Belichick. I remember one time against Miami, Brady threw about 3 times in the first half.
I bet you they won.
No, they lost that game. But it was a close game. But that's what Belichick does. He's like, look, I'm going to do things I want to do, and that's it. But I mean, look, when when you got non-Super Bowl appearances, you can do that. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's a good point. Another NFL quarterback, Carson Wentz, real quickly. Funny story. Michael Pittman Jr.'s got number 11. He says, I ain't giving it up. Carson Wentz is like, okay, cool. I guess I'll get another number anyway. The starting quarterback, like,
Oh
and
man.
then AJ Brown was like, bro, like, you don't know where your bread's buttered, do you, bro?
He's
Are
a
you
dummy.
crazy? Yeah, basically, that's what he called him. Basically, he's like, you're a dummy. Yeah. Your thoughts, A. Willie, on Carson Wentz? Like, dude, you're a star quarterback in this league, and what you doing?
Man, the story cracked me up when how Michael Pittman said it when he was like, he
Matter of
called me.
factly.
Right, and asked me about it, and then when I told him
And
I
I
wasn't
said
giving
no.
it up, right, I said no, and then he was like, "Well, I was cool. I was gonna switch it anyway." It reminded me of like, when you're
Debo.
young and you
Yeah,
trying to go,
Debo.
you going to talk to a girl, right? You
Yeah.
ask for the digits, and she's like, "Nah." You like, "Well, I was just trying to, get together so we can study anyway. That's all I wanted, right?" Like, so it reminded me of that, and then like the other thing is part of the thing it reminded me of is, and I'm probably deep diving here when I say this, is what Carson Wentz did not have when he went to college was, if you look at his background, and the same thing happens in the NBA. When a player walks into a locker room and they're not the majority, this is the only place in society where they're not the majority. If Tom Brady, if Carson Wentz, those quarterbacks, Luka Doncic, Kristaps Porzingis, Dirk Nowitzki, Steve Nash, this is the only place in their existence where they're not the majority. So you have to be a relationship person. You have to get outside of your
He's
experience.
had issues in Philly. That's one of them.
Right.
He's hard-headed. He doesn't take coaching well at all, and he likes to make excuses too.
You have to get outside of your experience because you walking into a locker room that 80% of the guys don't look like you. So you have to be able to relate. And that's a challenge sometimes when everywhere else in society, you are the majority. And when you look at where he went to college, he wasn't one of these guys that went to Florida, went to Alabama, went to USC, where he had that experience. So the first time he was in that environment is when the Philadelphia Eagles drafted him. And so that is a hard transition. And to your point, now you see some of these things and other guys in the league talk, right? We know that. What do the guys in the league say? This is a fraternity. Other guys talk. So is it beyond, the possibilities that Michael Pittman talked to some people in Philly? No, it's not. So your reputation, goes in front of you.
What do you think he heard? Like, dude, he's soft.
Well, I'm just saying, right? Like your reputation goes in front of you.
He ain't that dog. He ain't no leader.
So it's not
Knock his
beyond
spine. Knock
right.
him in his spine. Knock
It's
his
not
dreads
beyond
off.
the realm of possibility. And people are saying, Michael Pittman saying, like, when I've heard people say, man, but with Chris Godwin, Tom Brady, that's Tom Brady, dog.
Right.
Right?
He's
That's
got
Tom
receipts.
Brady.
Plenty of swag. Knows very relatable.
That's
Very
Tom
relatable.
Brady. That's Tom Brady, and so I say that. So, and again, I'm not saying you do have to know where your bread is buttered. You do have to know that. But at the same time, the other thing I'll say as well is, as a player, I can use myself as a player, as an example. The energy and everything that I had when I wore number 23, because other people came at you, because when we were playing at a time when you wore 23, you had to be able to get it done a little bit, right? So the energy that I got from other people coming at me when I left 23, I didn't feel the same. I didn't feel the same, right? So I had to go back to it. And then in college, I couldn't get it because we didn't have it. Low budget Brandeis University.
Okay. It's just a screen print, dog.
Yeah, I didn't have it, man.
Damn.
So I had to go to 32,
What?
I had to go to 32.
3-2, you can do 2-3.
I had to go, man, at D3 Brandeis, we ain't getting uniforms like that, man.
That's what I'm saying. It's ironed on, bro.
Facts.
That's
Facts.
what he probably stitched.
But you know what it is, LL, when that's like Brandeis is like Harvard and those places where the university president is the highest paid employee.
Right,
Y'all better be good, but we ain't investing. That's how it is. So yeah, that number, I get it, and I'm with Michael Pittman.
Yeah. My son wears 23 in baseball too. Looks sweet on him too. Got some pictures
Facts.
of him this weekend.
Yeah, I seen
They
him.
lost to number 4 Louisville today, 6-2. By the way, Eastern Kentucky got a big series this weekend. They did beat Georgia Tech, number 15 in the country, one
Oh,
out of three.
Hey,
One
keep
out of
us updated on what he's doing, LL.
yeah. He lined out to end the game today. Hit a rope to warning track left field right at the wall. Dude caught it. So, but I think he went 1 for 4 today. So I'll keep you guys updated. Oh,
Yes,
gee, here's
sir.
here's the quote from Michael Pittman. I spoke to him and I told him that I was locked in. I am number 11.
Hey,
I'm the captain now.
hey, I've never heard of Pittman. And
Come on. Wait a minute. OG, that's a USC dude. Come on, man.
I mean, but this is my thing though. Do you know the amount of confidence that you gotta have when you only caught 40 balls for 500 yards with one touchdown? And you gotta rely on this man to get you the ball?
It wasn't T.Y. Hilton. This was Michael Pittman Jr.
Exactly. My thoughts was
Yeah, just be a running back for the Bucks.
That's right. That's right.
you know what the first thing I thought though? I say, oh, if they want him to have 11, he'll have 11. Like you be up out of here. Like, if they really want him to have 11. So I'm like, I don't know. I thought it was funny, but at the same time, I mean, he been wearing that number for his whole life basically. So I get it because we as athletes and former athletes, we hold on to the numbers have sentimental value. Like, so I mean, I get it, but I mean, it is Wentz though. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, like, I mean, I don't see Wentz like boss hogging.
No.
Like he didn't come in. Like he
This ain't
not.
North Dakota, dog.
We know who won the Super Bowl in Philly. So at quarterback, so it's like it ain't like he coming in with this rep like I'm about to turn this franchise around. So it was a funny story to me, but I was like, man, that Pittman, he confident, boy, because
Love it.
I
am number
came
11.
off 1,000 yards or nothing like that.
Go ahead, coach, real quick. We gotta get.
Do you remember? You remember a couple years ago we went to that awards thing in Atlantic City, and
Oh
they were
yeah,
talking about
the Maxwell Award.
yes, and that
Oh,
they
yeah.
said that he got invited and he I think he declined or no showed.
Who, Michael Pittman or Wentz?
Wentz.
Oh yeah.
Remember they said that?
Yeah.
I was like, really?
Mhm.
But Mahomes went.
I was about to say it's literally like 30 minutes from Philly.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
Mahomes,
was
but
there.
Mahomes
Yeah,
went.
Mahomes was there. Yeah, we were.
Andy Reid went.
Mhm. Yep. True, when it's literally like right over the bridge to
Right.
Philly. Like, I was like, no excuse for that. But Derwin, your thoughts on this? Here's AJ Brown's quote. He's like, "Laugh aloud. He is not about to get the ball. Got to know who in control, bro." LMA. So laugh my ass off. So yeah. Your thoughts on Carson Wentz?
I think that Pittman should have given him the number, but there's a part of me. One, I wanted Carson Wentz to go to Indianapolis because I think they both needed each other. I think that Wentz had to get out of Philadelphia. He was in a no-win situation there. I thought that Indianapolis desperately needed a quarterback because this is their championship window and they can't waste it. That being said, I think it's better for Wentz to leave that number buried in Philly. He's worn it since South Dakota State, North Dakota State. But just leave it in Philly. Start anew, get a new number. Be linked to this new number. Go win a Super Bowl with this new number. So that's what I think. As far as Pittman, he could have given the guy the number. I don't,
He was smart. He could have got a nice little vacation out of it.
Yeah, he could have politicked it some money, a vacation, whatever. Wentz got enough money,
Exactly.
But he wants to be, he wants to be stubborn about it. We'll see how it works out for him. But I'm okay with Wentz not wearing a number. I honestly feel like so much bad where he came from was going on in Philly with him and his career. It's a start anew, it's a resurrection. Get a new number.
Yeah.
Make sure we keep a note of this, man, because when football season starts up next year, we got to have a Pittman tracker, man. Like,
yeah. I was thinking about what you guys said about Nick Foles in Philly when they won the Super Bowl 3 years ago, Super Bowl 52. They built a shrine to freaking Nick Foles in the locker room, and that was the first sign of this ain't your team, dog.
That's bad. That's terrible.
Yep. So good
it's
stuff
almost
there.
as if they don't like him.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, D.
Well,
You got to be in the relationship business, man.
Yeah.
Like, and if you're not in that business, you got to be so good
Yeah.
that dudes have to acquiesce to you, man.
Right.
Like,
Right.
and you know,
He act like his stuff don't stink. It's like, dude, you ain't that good. You ain't that.
It's like
You ain't that guy.
right. It's like your boy that was in with the Jets, the quarterback, is now in Seattle. I can't stomach him. He's the backup in Seattle now. I can't think of his
Gino?
name.
Gino, yeah,
Gino.
Gino Smith.
You know
Yeah.
how dislike you must be for your locker room to allow a guy to walk across the locker room and punch you in the mouth?
IK and Polly.
Come
Steal.
on, man.
Yeah.
Them dudes ain't
Stole
your
on 'em.
friends.
They stole on him over $600.
$600. Come
Chin
on, bro.
check.
What, no locker room that's happening to the quarterback.
That's like us
They-
fighting over a dime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the middle of the Grand Central Parkway.
Exactly. Yeah. I guess so. Let's keep it moving. Let's get out of here in the next 5 to 7 minutes. Deion Sanders, y'all heard about this story. They got the win. Jackson State playing 7 games in the SWAC, Southwestern Athletic Conference. Got a win. Was it 53-0?
Yeah.
Confusing though, conflicting reports. Deion said his stuff was stolen. The school said no. They moved it. You know, it was missing, but they moved his stuff. And then Deion chides the media and everything afterwards. The school then puts out another statement that basically says, yeah, it kind of was stolen. What the hell was this stuff stolen? Can we get to the bottom of this? Wallet, credit cards. Deion was not happy, and I don't blame him at 100. Not at all. Do not blame him at all. Go ahead,
Man,
OG.
wherever Dion is going, just leave everything at the crib, man, because it's becoming a theme. Like every time we hear about some reports, I mean, it seemed like somebody taking something from
Had
him.
the Escalade hit up with a a boombox. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, I mean, it's unfortunate because I've actually when I was in high school, we was playing at a McDonald's event and we was sharing locker rooms. So when we got dressed, went out and played our game, but when we came back after the game, our stuff was gone. Like, so I mean, and then they investigated the team that came in and they took they ended up getting the stuff back. But so I would actually know what it feels like, but I just don't expect stuff like that to happen at that level. You should have more than enough security, more than enough people around, unless it's intentional. I mean, and done within. I just don't see how that should even been a topic or how it even happened. I mean, this we talking about at the college level. I don't even care if no matter what league or whatever it is, there's more than enough people around. I mean, obviously you can see at the game when they show the warm-ups and stuff like that, it looks like a regular college atmosphere game. So to think that the security or whoever was just lunching on the job, it's just a bad thing. I mean, because
Makes you wonder if it was an inside job. That's what Dion was sort of insinuating. That's kind of how I read it a little bit. Like, reading the reports, man. Like, okay, only certain people got access to this area. What the hell's going on here?
Yeah, he should have just been able to. He should be able to
The
just
Capitol.
celebrate the win and talk about that, and not have to talk about some items being taken or whatever.
Yeah. D-Dubs, your thoughts on the fact that, once again, it's the second time.
Mhm.
Had the boombox incident with the Escalade not too long ago. Yeah, I mean, it just seemed fishy to me, Derwin.
Mm.
It really did seem fishy to me.
Set up.
Your thoughts?
It's just not a good look. Initially, when I saw it, I'm like, really? It's an HBCU. This is what we're doing to Deion Sanders. I just feel like there should be a lot more respect in that. I wouldn't think that this would happen there. He's a Hall of Famer. He's an icon. I just felt bad. I think it's a bad look for the university, honestly. But now we have to question: well, is one of his disciples stealing from him? Is it an inside job? It's just a bad look. I mean, the guy is coming there. I remember I had a job interview years ago in down there in Mississippi, and I want to say this is Jackson, Mississippi, right?
Jackson is the largest city in the state. Yeah.
Exactly. I had a job interview in that city, and I remember looking up the crime and stuff like that, and it's crime is kind of high.
It's buck.
Yeah, it's buck there. I remember the news director telling me this. So so I'm like, yo, do these people have no shame in Jackson, Mississippi? That primetime comes there to uplift your university, to put them on a map, to help the city, and this is how you treat him? That's how I look at it. I just
Yeah.
think it's a black eye. It's terrible that a man can't even go out there to coach and leave his stuff in his own locker room or office, and y'all come rob and steal from him.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure it's one of us.
Mm.
I don't think it's another complexion doing that at that university. Come
Yeah.
on, do
Uh,
better.
hey Willie, he did talk about how emotional he got. He's like, look, I had a lot of emotions going on. First win, I can't even call my damn mama. Cell phone gone, credit cards gone, wallet gone. That kind of hit me because I'm like, yeah, that. He said this was special. It meant something to him, and he's got to deal with this whole incident. So that sort of stuck with me, and it did hit. It hit home. Let's be honest with you, with it. So, hey, Willie, your thoughts?
No, no question. And we can let's talk about this. Does this happen in other places? It absolutely does. But at the same time, we all know that again, there's a different standard when it comes with respect to us when these types of things are discussed because there's enough people out there that believe that this behavior is inherent to us. It's organic with us. This is how we are. So when that if so you don't hear about this at any other school, but when you happen to have this one incident or a couple incidents at Jackson State, sometimes the thought process is, see, that's how they all are. And
Mm-hmm.
that's dangerous because we have this mission now to go to HBCUs. We're telling young kids to go to HBCUs, and now that's starting to pick up steam and it's starting to pick up momentum. So I would want those things to be in a positive light instead of a kid wondering, well, if they do this to Deion Sanders and he's the coach, what will they do to me? And so that's one of the things I think about. And then this kind of brings it up to one of the first things that we talked about at the top of the show. We talked about Cam, and we talked about that respect. And D, you touched on it a little bit. Um, you know, growing up where I grew up, again, just as an athlete, as a person that tried to handle their academics, I was protected a little bit, right? There were, people that were in the street element part that were like, hey man, like that kid, leave that dude alone.
He's off limits.
Or if something was getting ready to go, hey man, it's time for you to get moving because the expectation is you're probably going to do something that a lot of us aren't going to do
Mm-hmm.
in terms of just going to college and playing.
Right.
So with that being said, that respect that you talked about, D, the fact that one, of course, that respect for elders, but two, that reverence that we have for athletes, that reverence that we have, even if you're in a place where it might be tough, that reverence that you have for let's protect this person because they're shining a positive light on our community, that's gone, man. That is gone,
Mm-hmm.
right? That we see this again from a societal standpoint. A couple years ago, what do we have? We had the knockout game going on, right? Where people were knocking out women, senior citizens, hitting them in the back of the head. Well, when we
Terrible.
were growing up, right? When we were growing up, people that were in the street game, if you did that and you did that flying the flag or whatever set you were claiming, they dealt with you because they were like people that don't claim, women, kids, old folks off limits. You
Right.
don't get stripes for doing that. You get stripes and you get put on for putting in work against the other people that are putting in work.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not, again, as I say that, I'm not advocating for people to join gangs. I'm just saying
No,
when we
absolutely
were
not.
growing up, that was the standard. That's how it was governed.
Rules of engagement.
Exactly. That's gone now. That's gone.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, unfortunately, when you hear these types of stories happening to people like Dion in the era that we live in, it's not surprising, unfortunately.
Yeah. Let's hope the story of the school saying, look, it was missing, but we moved. Things were moved, right? That's the story that they sort of came up with. So let's hope that's the story and that's the case for primetime Deion Sanders, who's doing a great job down there at Jackson State, number one recruiting recruitment team for I think FCS in FCS history, at least number one this year, number one recruiting class in FCS, number one forever for any HBCU as far as recruitment class there at Jackson State this year. I think they got 6 more games, right? Is that right, Will? I think 7 game season.
I think it's six more.
Yeah,
Yep.
6 more
Yep.
for Jackson State. We'll see how they do in the spring here for Jackson State. Real quickly, Compete Forever Black News Channel, episode 39. Coach K, what we got? Michigan State University this weekend. A Willie sighting. That's
Sparty.
right. Dude, we have to
Oh
put this
yeah.
off
Sparty.
because the Mad League was going so long and back-to-back seasons. We have to wait because this should have ran it probably about a month or two ago. We have to put
Madden League, got to do it.
Yeah, yeah. But it's running this weekend. So, hey, Willie, going to be gracing your TV this weekend. Michigan
Yes.
State. A couple of championship games. One was not very good. One,
a
somebody
lot,
got blown out.
a lot of,
Woo! Or as Emmett Smith would say, blowed out.
Blowed out.
a lot of quotables from A. Willie.
Yeah, got flued out.
Yeah.
But yeah, episode 39 this weekend, Saturday, Sunday. Black News Channel, BNC, this weekend, 11 a.m. Eastern and 6 p.m. Eastern as well, Saturday and Sunday. You can get Black News Channel on DirecTV, ATT Uverse, Comcast, Xfinity, Dish Network. Also, with
Zumo, Redbox.
I'm thinking about the cable systems.
Hey man,
uh,
everything else.
what is it? It's Spectrum Charter cable systems, right?
Yes.
60 million homes on the TV, and then they got all the OTT, which is up to date now. You can actually watch it and watch it at the same time. Roku, all the same stuff, Fire Stick, all that good stuff.
Yep.
Compete for every Black News Channel. 6 a.m., 11 a.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Eastern this weekend. Any final thoughts, guys, before we get out here?
Yes. Tomorrow night, from 8
Your
p.m.
thing.
9:30,
Mhm.
we have the next GC Black History Month Legacy and Gaming panel. It's going to have Autumn Johnson. She's a host
Mhm.
for the NBA 2K League, and she does reporting for NCAA Women College Basketball.
Yep.
Have Ev Matherin, who's the CEO of WR Pro-Am Leagues. He's been around just as long as I have and contributing to the 2K Pro-Am scene.
So he's an OG.
Definitely. Black Frank White, who is the NBA 2K League global now. I think that's the global community ambassador. And my partner, best friend, LT, Tawan Fairley, who's a GM and coach for Mavs GG.
Nice.
So it's
I
been
thought we were best
our
friends.
first event.
I was your best friend, dude.
You're Binky.
There you go. That hey,
Oh, we are brothers, and I'm about to explain that as soon as you get done. Go ahead.
Nah, I was just saying, me and LT took this journey together. 7 years ago now.
We on the journey right now, dog. Who cares about the past? We talking about right now. See where you're from is where you at.
That's what Rakim said.
Go ahead, OG.
Right. Nah, I'm finished.
So tomorrow, what time? 7 or 8 p.m.
Oh, tomorrow, 8 p.m. to
Eastern?
9. Yeah, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Which
Eastern
channel?
Standard Time.
Nets Gaming.
Twitch.tv/Nets Gaming Crew.
Okay, twitch.tv/Nets
All
Gaming
right.
Crew, 8 p.m. Eastern, Black History Month Symposium. D-Dubs, anything? Any shout out? Shout out to your wife and your son. I
Hey,
always
thanks a
think that
lot,
about-
man. Shout out to
for
everybody in
sure.
Texas. Shout out to Tiger Woods. Hopefully he gets better.
Yeah.
Man.
He heals up. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
Hey, Willie.
Yeah, shout out to everybody in Texas, man, and everybody that's dealing with things right now with this COVID and all that stuff. And hopefully everybody keeps staying healthy. And again, Kelly, hope you get your power back, and
Right.
praying for your
Yeah.
family and everybody else too.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Hopefully we'll see her on Thursday. Texas Strong. Shout out to Ford Models. I'm a model now.
Hey,
OG, I'm a model
I'm
now.
a
what I'm talking about.
model.
You know what I mean? And I shake my little tush on that cat. Oh, that
What's
catwalk.
up, Larry?
Hey,
I'm gonna leave that alone.
and I shake my little on that catwalk.
You
Yeah, I'm a model.
think
OG, what's it like being a model, man? I mean, we both got the model looks. I mean, what's it like? Talk to me.
I mean, it's been good for me.
There you go.
Yeah, so I mean, I can't complain. I mean, obviously, I'm in the older category, so my
We in the older category.
well, yeah, you but you're a little bit more leaner and more fit than I am at the
No,
moment.
we're both plus size models, pretty much.
Y'all crazy, man.
you think you Tyson Beckford?
But I look forward to it. I did have I did tell Justin, I'm like, I've got one stipulation. I got to be at the top. I was dead serious, and he's like, all right, I got you.
Hey, Coach K talking about Tyson Beckford. The
I
only
know.
thing I'm close to Tyson with is some chicken. That's
I was
about
about to- All right, good stuff, man. Also, shout out to all the sponsors out there, man. We want to thank all of them. Of course, Rap Snacks. We want to thank Lucid Sound. I want to thank Dale. I want to thank Skins GG. I want to thank Zip Chair. Also want to thank Claim Your Fame. Welcome
Yes.
aboard.
Hmm.
Good folks, Mike and his partner out there, man. Check them out. Go to Claim Your Fame. Download their app, man. It's a pretty cool app, man. Get out there and you get your name out there.
Exposure.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great little community, man. I've got a profile on there as well. You can, shout out your events, shout out other people, connect and sort of, meet new people. It's a great community out there. So Michael Crossman and those folks, claim your fame. Go ahead and download the app right now, and also the rest of the sponsors out there: Rap Snacks, Dale, Lucid Sound, Skins, Zip Chair, all those fine folks. That'll
Hmm.
do it for Esports Extra, the only live call-in sports show talking traditional sports, esports, and gaming. We'll see you Thursday right back here, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Make it a good one. We'll see you in a couple of days. Be good, everybody. We'll talk to you down the road.